What's going on, guys? Nicholas Martian here, and welcome to yet another PlayStation podcast. Today we're going to be talking about PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4's Minecraft. Where exactly is this game? What's going on with it? In the background we have a little bit of Resogun PlayStation 4 footage for you guys. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, during a conference, Sony went up on stage and actually said, hey, we're making a Minecraft game for the PlayStation 4. It's being created by a studio named 4J. They never actually said a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation Vita version of the game was coming out. It was actually after the conference that 4J let out a tweet stating, hey, we're making the game for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3 also. A month or so after that, Sony actually released on their PlayStation YouTube channel that they're actually releasing a PlayStation 3 version of the game in about a week or two. And this motive is a little bit surprising to me because Sony never actually went out and announced the PlayStation 3 version. They announced the PlayStation 4 version, not the PlayStation 3 one. So that kind of confused me, why in the world the PlayStation 4 version isn't out yet and the PlayStation 3 one is, but I guess I'll never understand it. With all of that jibber jabber said, where exactly is the game, what's going on with it, and why is it taking so long? Now, first of all, we have to look at this in a marketing perspective for both Sony and 4J Studios. The game was originally released for Xbox 360 and was built for the ground up for that system, which means all they really needed to do to get it to the PlayStation 3 was port the game over, change the control scheme, and optimize the game a tad bit. Now, this wouldn't actually be able to work with the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita because they both have completely different architectures than the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So what happens when you have a bunch of PlayStation fans on your back awaiting the PlayStation 4 version's release? Well, just release it for the PlayStation 3 and call it a day. Not only will it be extremely easy to develop, but it's also cheaper. Starting with the PlayStation Vita's version of Minecraft, there's going to be a lot of changes needed to be made. The architecture of the PlayStation Vita is completely different than any device that 4J was ever used to. First of all, the PlayStation Vita has the exterior of a mobile device, but the interior of something close to a PlayStation 3. In addition to that, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 version of Minecraft had a lot of compensation needed to be made to actually run as properly as it should be. For starters, the PlayStation 3 version of Minecraft does not run at a smooth 60 frames per second. It actually runs under that. Secondly, the worlds must be much smaller in order for it to run properly. On multiplayer, you can only have up to 10 friends at a time, and even if you have 5 friends, the FPS starts to go all bonkers, not to mention because the hardware inside the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 are inferior to that of a PC, it's going to take a lot more time to get the latest PC updates. And I mean, if the PlayStation Vita isn't as powerful as the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 3 is getting all these problems, it leads me to believe that there is going to be a lot of issues creating the game for the PlayStation Vita. And I'm pretty sure that 4J has already realized that the PlayStation 3 version of the game is already bare bones and that they can't downscale it anymore to put it on the PlayStation Vita. They're just going to need to optimize the crap out of that or even make the game from the ground up. And if it's already pretty difficult to put the game on it now, how difficult will it be in the future as updates progress? This is going to be really trivial to make the game for the PlayStation Vita. Now, what about the PlayStation 4? Surely it'll be easier to make the game for that. No. Now, the problem with the next generation is that it's completely different than the architecture of the current generation. Now it's like a PC, so they're going to need to take the PC version of Minecraft and optimize it enough to fit it inside of a console. This technically means that 4J is going to have to create the PlayStation 4 version of the game from the ground up. My theory was actually justified when a journalist went up to a 4J representative and asked them, will the game be cross-play? The representative actually stated that it's impossible to make it cross-play because the game will be on 2 different engines in 2 different worlds. Now, what does this actually mean for the release date of the game? For starters, I doubt Sony's gonna go up on stage and say, hey, we're making this game for PlayStation 4, it's gonna be released very soon, and they haven't even started the game. This to me is highly unlikely, but what I will say is that they're still working on the game and it's going to take a little bit more time than expected to actually release these games since they're going to be completely different architectures. I mean, you just got to remember that this is a very small studio that has to keep up to date with patches for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 version. You have to keep up to date with the Minecraft Portable Edition version, They have to create the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 versions, and create a completely new system for the PlayStation Vita versions. It's just a lot of work they have to do. With that said, there were a lot of great, credible people like The Verge or Gamer Headlines that are pretty much speculating the actual date of release, and that is actually in the second quarter of 2014, which would be around April 1st to June 30th. With that said, if the title is to see a release in the second quarter for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PlayStation Vita, we will pretty much see an official release date announcement relatively soon, around now to April. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button, or if you want to see more content like this one, don't forget to subscribe. Once again, thanks for watching, and you have a nice one.